Welcome back to High, Wide, and Handsome, a racing podcast right here on the Arson Brothers Network. I am Matt Klein, joined by the full gang tonight. Jeff Griffith, Shawn Allen, and Michael Sizemore.
Hey, Matt, who are these guys? Where'd they come from? I don't remember them on the podcast last week.
Yeah, we've filled the grid a bit more this week.
Listen, when you're in high demand, you're in high demand size. You wouldn't know nothing about that, all right? That's a nice segue, if you will.
I'm just happy to be here.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Yes, full crew back tonight after a two-man effort last week. Glad to have them back. They claim to be working. I still question some things about that. But
working the streets, maybe.
I didn't say where I was working. We'll say went back and watched the episode. You guys did a really good job.
Oh, well, we appreciate that, certainly.
I use that Bret Hart rating scale. Y'all was a 4 out of 10, brother.
Better than Bill Goldberg.
That's right.
Tough critics around here. All right. How we been doing? What you been up to, guys? We'll go around the horn since it was 2 weeks for some of you, 1 week for a couple of us. Jeff, what's going on?
Just work. We've had a lot of stuff going on at work. Just been keeping up with that and survived the yard sale a few weeks ago and everything after that. Trying to get back on track, brother. Watching as much racing as I can.
Definitely understand that. What about you, Dr. Allen?
Man, things are good. Like Jeff said, a lot of work. Really was working last week, teaching the younger minds of the world some things. Yeah, that's what I try to do. I mean, and I try to teach some of the older minds some things too. We won't get into that, Kendall, but anyway. So other thing I've been doing is kind of really out of character for me, but I've been watching a ton of baseball, which our beloved West Virginia Mountaineers are in the College World Series right now. And I've never watched a College World Series game in my life. So right now, but I'm hooked now because, my school's there. So anyway, so that's been going on and it's been a lot of fun to keep up with.
Very nice. Yeah. Mountaineer baseball killing it. It's been really cool to watch.
Yeah.
Mr.
Sizemore, how about you, sir?
Well, I've been watching a lot of North Carolina Tar Heel baseball, and they seem to be doing pretty good right now. But no, man, I got off work 30 minutes before we started filming this. It's been like the other guys, work. I've been watching a lot of World Cup soccer myself, checking out America, putting up 4 goals on Paraguay this last Friday. Excited about this upcoming Friday and taking on Australia, which should be a good match. I assume. I know nothing about soccer, but I've been watching it.
Very cool. Yeah, I saw that big USA win. Yeah, lots of fun stuff happening in the sports world at this time. Stanley Cup, NBA, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
I just know NBA because Danhausen and the Stanley Cup. Danhausen won the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup.
I saw that, actually.
Hey. It's Danhausen's world. We just live in it.
That's true.
It's very true.
Get that man a blimp.
All right.
Absolutely. As for me, a lot of work last week as well. I actually got behind on clips of the show, so apologize if you were looking for more of those. But but over the weekend, it was the Celebrate Princeton Festival here in Princeton, West Virginia. Was down there with the shop, the Warehouse Clothing Company. They pretty good little festival. A lot of stuff going on the street, some music, vendors, food trucks, stuff like that. Watch some racing. Celebrate Arson cousin Jerry's birthday a bit on Sunday.
Hey, happy birthday, Jerry!
Birthday.
And watch some racing.
Yeah,
a lot of racing. A big week of racing. If you're everything, so we'll get into it.
Hey, it's 1 p.m. on a Sunday cup racing, which us 80s and 90s guys love to see.
Yes, felt like a real throwback treat. Well,
I mean, I'm definitely. I mean, I'm the king of the '80s and '90s stuff, but I don't love a 1 o'clock start. I have my reasons, so we won't get into that. But yeah, anyway, so I'm usually with you on any of that stuff. I don't know, man.
There we go.
But that's another story. Yeah.
Disagreements in the ranks already, so it's going to be a good one. As that'll roll us right into some NASCAR discussion. Let's get into the lead lap. And that puts us on the lead lap where we break down all things NASCAR. A big weekend at the Tricky Triangle up in the Pocono Mountains. Starting with the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, the Miller Tech Battery 250. Nice. Chaotic race. A record 18 lead changes, a record 10 cautions as well. Lots of attrition, big hits. We'll break it down a little bit. First one, Cole Custer, kind of the first victim, clobbered the inside wall. Big one on lap 95. Jeff Burton spun kind of right in the middle of the field, took out LeVar Scott. Several others led to a big red flag period, 7-minute red flag. Pretty big incident there. LeVar Scott took a big leg to the inside wall. Had to see that for all involved, of course, but it was a chaotic day.
Yeah, we Arson, or High Wide Arson brothers, whatever you want to call us. We love our Alpha Prime boys, and yeah, I hate to see that for LeVar. That's a rough hit there.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Both of those Alpha Prime boys mixed it up all day. Brenham was, well, I don't think ever fully involved. He was involved in several little incidents of his own throughout the day.
He had a few little bumpskis.
He did. I noticed that.
No, I knew it was going to be that kind of day, man. Because I had recorded the race and I was starting it just a few minutes later, and I was like, well, I'm going to try to at least knock out the first stage before I watch something with the family. Then I'll come back and watch the rest. And that first stage, there was like 2 cautions within like the first 8 laps, and I was like, oh, it's going to be that kind of day.
Yeah.
It kind of felt a bit like a truck race, how they went the last little bit, because it seemed like, are we going to get a lap in here? What's going on?
Yeah. And then it felt like after the race finally broke loose and got going, it was very clear that it was the veteran Dustin Allgaier's day. It felt like as soon as we really got some racing, although he didn't get the finish, but I thought the only car that seemed like had speed to contend with him was Sam Mayer in that 41. He battled with him hard, but ended up really falling apart on that last restart.
It was Gator time in the honeymoon capital of America this weekend. And I'm glad to see it. Pocono's not traditionally a Allgaier track, but he went out there and dominated. It was good to see.
His first win at Pocono, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Shawn. You go.
I was just going to say Justin was just in another zip code, and that seems to be the trend lately. Yeah. I mean, really, at the end of the day, nobody had anything for him. And like I said, I was surprised that what was his first win there, right? Yeah, that's wild to me. Because at this point, it feels like he's won everywhere. Heck, everywhere this year almost.
Yeah, it surprised me as well. It's the 5th win of the season. That ties for his single most in a season back in 2018. So it's hard to think he's not going to surpass that this season.
Oh, yeah.
Now sits 250 points ahead of second place Jesse Love. That's insane. He's literally locked in. He could not race the rest of their regular season. I'm pretty sure I saw that.
I'm going to be the old man for a minute, like I always am. But I was thinking about this, and I got some thoughts on this on the Cup side too. But I know people, the networks or whoever it is that wants to chase a playoff so bad. But this, to me, sells why we should be on a full season point system. Yeah, call it boring if you want, but the man is absolutely dominating. And to me, that's exciting. Maybe I'm one of a few, right? But every time, when I was there, they mentioned how he's got this 250-point lead, which is insane. And if the chase or the chase starts tomorrow, it goes down to 25. That's just asinine to me. Now granted, we don't see any signs of him slowing down. But man, I mean, call me Mark Martin. But every time I think about that, really Justin's who I think about when I'm like, man, I wish it was that full season points because I'd like to see just how much he could put it on them before the season's over. Quite frankly, I love this stuff.
Well, see, I'm the exact opposite because I think if we did a full season points, the rest of the season wouldn't matter. Like, who would care about the rest of the Xfinity season at this point? Because Justin Allgaier's pretty much locked it in. And now we know once the chase or whatever, the playoffs, whatever they're calling it this year, starts, he could still lose it. I mean, there's a possibility that, all this could be for naught in the championship race. And those races are going to matter so much more for him to win and be able to show this dominance in the last few races of the season that he's shown throughout the season. So, I mean, I think that gives a lot more legitimacy to the, the final races of the season there.
Well, as a true NASCAR fan, they would matter to me no matter what. And the point of he could lose it that way is part of exactly what I'm saying. It's wild to me. We saw it not to this level. I'm not saying that. But we saw it to some extent. Before we came home, we were talking about Connor and Jesse Love. And we saw some of that last year, too. I don't know. I just really – to me, I know I'm probably alone in some of this, but to me, it's exciting just to see how big could that lead get. I mean, and that's exciting to me, but
Well, it's also worth mentioning. I mean, he has that 200 and some point lead, and that seems insurmountable. But like, if we're going to argue for a full season, and you think, well, there's no way that anybody can catch him. How many points lead in the Cup Series?
Yeah.
Did Tyler Reddick have a few weeks ago, and what's he got now?
Yeah,
not very much.
Tyler built that lead up in the first four races of the season. Justin has been steadily building that lead from Daytona till now.
I mean, a 190-point lead and a 250-point lead the numbers are numbers, though. I don't really think that makes a difference. I don't see how. I don't buy that argument. Although I'm not fully on any of it. I get all sides of it, to be honest. Like, I mean, I would be totally okay with a full-point schedule. I think the chase is a nice mix of Shawn and size, which we have this year. But it's a lot there. But, I mean, I think a points lead's a points lead no matter when you build it up. But, I mean, I get what you're saying over a course of longer run. But Tyler's had over that longer run than we saw at a race. Just saying that could be a race. I just get everyone's argument here. It's very interesting stuff.
I'm just thinking about the baby that Shawn and Size would make whenever you said a mix of both of them.
Be the ugliest dang child to ever walk this earth.
I guess you name it Chase.
Which state would it belong to? That's what
Shawn and I are very lucky that we have children that look normal and attractive because of our wives. If the two of us had one, God.
I think that would be the creation of a new state for that child all in itself. Oh, my goodness. But, yeah, nonetheless, Allgaier dominating.
Yes, he did. But I will say, Matt, back on what you were saying, I did think at certain points, I was like, man, Sam Mayer might win this race today. I mean, Mayer was on it most of the day.
Yeah. And
and I also want to send a shout out to Brent Cruz. I mean,
yes,
there at the end, he was giving it all he had. And that he's going. I mean, we say it every week, but he's going to be real good.
Well, I mean, never saw this track before. Finished second, led laps at one point. It's just astounding what he's doing. A lot of rumors that he's going to be on standby for Bell this weekend at the road course, which I heard that too. Would make sense, but we'll see. See if he ends up in that situation or not.
Absolutely. Yeah, that does make sense.
Shout out to Anthony Alfredo. His best finish season, brought it home sixth.
Yeah, we love some fast pasta around here.
That's right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
His teammate, Redsoff, ended up 15th. He led some laps early, looking good there as well.
Hey, and I'm going to mention because I like to talk about me and my fandom. My man Raja bringing it home in the top 10 in the 32 this week. I loved seeing that. So.
Yeah, battling up in the top 5 in that 32 at one point, looking real good.
At the very end of that race, when he made that move to get to 4th, I was like, God, I wish that was the 88 because he just didn't have the speed there. But I was impressed with that for sure.
Yeah, me too, absolutely.
But overall, good rally race.
Was good race.
Yeah, I think.
Especially if you're an Allgaier fan, and I think we all are to some degree.
Yeah. We are.
Mentioned the post race. We saw Dale Jr. with his daughter take the longest walk down pit row ever to get there. It was almost wrapped up. I thought Justin was going to be drove away by the time they got there. The cameras following them, but finally got there and celebrated a bit. And I saw Junior and the kid took a ride back to victory lane with him. I thought that was the long walk was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was cracking me up, man. Every time it showed him, I was like, he still ain't there.
Justin was like, I got to haul these people or we're never going to get to victory lane.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch actual post race, but I saw the footage of him and his little girl in the car and her flying the flag out the window, and I thought that was really cool. I thought that was an awesome, as a girl dad, awesome little moment there to see.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, good stuff. Another fun little rally race, albeit a bit of a wild one this time, but I thought still entertaining race, some good battling.
Yeah,
it was good to have him back after an off week, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we missed some. Didn't have no trucks this week, but it was still made up for it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. That will lead us into the Cup Series, the Great American Getaway 400. Race kind of defined by a massive wreck, fuel strategy, and yet another historic performance from Denny Hamlin. We must give Denny his flowers. 4th win of the year, 3rd consecutive win, and a record 8th career victory at Pocono. 64th career win, putting him solely in possession of 9th on the all-time wins list. He also grabbed his 52nd career pole, making him 9th all-time on the pole list. Also the first driver to win 3 consecutive races from the pole position since Darrell Waltrip in 1981.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, you're not going to find any love for Mr. Dennis Hamlin on this podcast, but you will find a little bit of respect because the man is on a heater right now. 3 poles, 3 victories, and dominant victories at that.
Yeah.
And 2 of those victories, he came from the back of the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really wild. And he is, as we talked a bit ago, completely almost closed the gap of the points lead down to just 19 behind Reddick for the lead.
Hey, and good job for Reddick to get up to P2.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Jeff. Let me cut you off.
No, I said it a few weeks ago. I'm going to say it again. I mean, if he keeps up on the trajectory he's on, I don't see how he doesn't win the championship this year.
Well, as we just said, the big reset is coming no matter who's out front. But, yeah, I mean, he's certainly on a roll. These 2 road courses, I feel like, could slow that momentum down a bit. So they're typically not as super.
Sure.
I mean, also not to think he won't be strong as soon as we're back to traditional tracks. But, I mean, momentum goes a long way. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But, I mean,
that fella in the 45 can run the big tracks and he can run on a road course. So that's good news for those of us not wanting to see Denny ever get that championship.
Did I mention I've been watching a lot of baseball? I'd rather talk about that than Denny Hamlin. But,
now, Shawn, just a minute ago, you were praising how fun it was to watch such a historic, dominating performance.
It is.
Well, you don't seem like you're having much fun.
Listen, it's no surprise I'm not having any fun. I mean, I told you he choked on that minion.
I'm just saying there's a bit of a contradiction there. Just trying to put it together.
There is. It's fun to watch people I like do it.
Okay.
John's just mad because that 24 couldn't get enough speed to get up there and pass him.
But here's the thing. I know I hear what everybody's saying. I hear what Jeff's saying, but I still see the way you don't win it. I mean, because we've seen it. I know I've done give that rant already, but we've seen it. And like Si said, Tyler is good turning left and right too. Yeah. So I got a wild feeling. Now, I may be wrong. You never know. Denny can turn up and win one of these races the next 2 weeks. You just never know what'll happen. Yeah. But I think Tyler will be able to pad his lead back out a little bit the next 2 weeks just because he is so good on those style of tracks too. I was getting ready to come on here and make a plea to save us SVG. That's what I was getting ready to.
I think that's very likely. That's a safe from SVG. But I'm with you though. I do think these next 2 weeks are going to be really good for Reddick to gain back a bit of his lead there. I do agree with that, definitely. And as I was briefly mentioned there, shout out to Reddick. He kind of came from nowhere at the end of that race and ended up second. So he would have that gap would have been even tighter.
Yeah.
If not for that last drive.
Absolutely. And, I didn't even think about this until I heard somebody this morning talking about it. But Denny has won like every race but one that's been on Prime so far. That's nuts when you think about it. You know what I mean? Like I was noticing yesterday in the post race when they were doing the best burnout stuff and all that. Well, they've got Denny on that thing like 2 or 3 times now because nobody else has won hardly. It's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, what a way to ruin the best broadcast of the NASCAR season.
Hey, but
we get to watch it on Prime, but we have to watch Denny win every week.
Man, I'm going to tell you something though. If you turned around and gave Prime the whole season right now, I'd be so happy. We mentioned the race starting at 1. That was able to happen because it was on Prime. That was a big factor in that. And
I wanted to actually shout that out. That was really awesome because this race would not have happened. The shower started pretty much as soon as checkered flag flaw, and we would have been maybe through into stage 2. So it would not have happened. So huge props to NASCAR for calling that early a day before, and as Shawn just said, Prime. And really, the reason that was allowed to do because it's so flexible. So pretty cool stuff.
Man, I just enjoy it. I even I know I'm that nerd, but I even turning on the feed a few minutes early, how they're just kind of showing around the track and
love
stuff.
that.
I mean, they just do such a phenomenal job.
They really do.
Yeah.
Got to mention Christopher Bell, the 20 car, battling out there with that broken wrist. But the team decided to stay out, took a gamble, tried to stay out, and looked like they were going to do it at 1.2 to go, end up having to park. But Hamlin reeled him in and passed the 4 laps ago. Hamlin clearly was, the car of the day, but Pocono is known to be a strategy track, and they went for it.
I mean, if Bell had more fuel and he could have fought Hamlin. When Hamlin went to pass him, he just gave it up. He knew that he did not have enough fuel in that car to fight for that position, and he just let it go. But God, if he'd had maybe a few more gallons, it would have been an exciting time there in Pocono.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would have just been such a. I was pulling for him. I knew he wasn't going to make it on the gas once they started talking about it and figured it out, but I was pulling for him because what a good story, man.
Yeah.
To be in a horrible crash, break his wrist, drive him with one hand, and be able to pull that off, that would have been so cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, wow. And I heard Bell say on long run, normal runs, he was fine. On restarts, he was having some trouble. Even at one point, you can go back and watch, he loses a bunch of positions, and he said had trouble battling. I think these next 2 weeks are going to be a challenge for Bell.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see a start and somebody else take over situation, in especially this first week. But who knows? These guys, they'll try to tough it out, I'm sure. But it's going to be a real challenge.
It is.
Absolutely.
I want to mention Front Row Motorsports. We saw stage 2, the Todd father, Todd Gilliland, jump up there, get his first stage win. Had diesel speed all day, and we saw Zane Smith battling in the top 5, actually battling with Denny. Went for a spin, which I hate to see, but Zane has been picking it up and a lot of speed. Yeah. A little bit of speed starting to show itself from that front row team. Just worth mentioning.
Zane has 2 good weeks in a row. Gilliland wins a stage. Denny wins 3 races in a row. All 3 of those seem to be involved in a lawsuit with NASCAR this time. I'm just kidding.
There we go.
Crap.
There. Certainly a lot of that going around again, if you will. But.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't think it's ever going to end. I see it everywhere. People are already convinced, Tyler or Denny's going to win it all because they have to. And it's Lord have mercy. Even I ain't that crazy. People calm down.
Also, I mentioned Legacy Motor Club doing big things again. Eric Jones, we've been talking about him last few weeks. Another good run, 6. John Hunter Nemechek, great run, ended up 4th, led some laps at one point.
Yeah.
That team really starting to show signs of life and turning things around.
Man, Eric Jones is just, the past few weeks watching him, it's like, this guy looks like a top level guy all of a sudden. And like you said, I think it's just legacy. They're really starting to come into their own.
And paying off Eric now in a chase position, sitting 15th in points.
Yeah, it was awesome. I saw that this weekend that he's looking like he's going to make the chase, and that's cool. I mean, I've always been an Eric Jones fan since he came up from Xfinity, and I hate that he lost the Gibbs spot, but I think he's doing good with what he has right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the team picking it up, Jimmie trying to build something there, and I think we're starting to see some signs of it. I mean, 7-time champ. We know Jimmie's competitive fire. He's not going to let that thing run run longer. He's going to probably let it go, but I don't think that's going to be the case. It's going to be interesting to watch where this team goes the rest of the season and into the future.
And, also just shows how dominant Toyotas are right now in the NASCAR Cup Series. Them, and then, of course, 2311 with Tyler, who's crushing it, and then Joe Gibbs with Denny, who's crushing it, plus, the other guys who are still doing real well. Dang, them Toyotas are on fire this season in the Cup Series.
Absolutely, yeah. It can't be undersold just how good the Toyotas are this season, honestly. It's really wild.
Yeah.
Bright spot Chevy this week. I thought Suarez looked pretty good most of the day. He's definitely keeping that momentum going.
Yeah, all those Spire cars looked pretty good there at one point. I think all three of them were in the top 10 around stage 2 or so.
Yeah, at one point.
I mean, Carson had a pole if he hadn't crashed in qualifying.
Yeah, Suarez, another great run, though. He ended up 13th, but he got stage points all day. He went up, moved up the points ranking. Now it's sitting 8th, so really impressive stuff from him. Lap 47, we saw pretty much the big one, which took out some guys in that chase discussion as well as others, but Josh Berry, SVG, Zilich, Keselowski, Noah Gragson, Bubba Wallace, and Joey Logano all involved. So Joey's rise back into the chase contention, take a hit. Bubba fell a couple spots to 13th, SVG down to 14th, although I think SVG sitting in 14th going into these next 2 weeks, that's going to certainly rise, I think, quite a bit, actually. If you start looking at the normal points he gets at these, that's going to be really interesting when we, 2 weeks after these road courses, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a high possibility he may get max points 2 weeks in a row. I mean, it's just how it is.
It's going to be real interesting to see where this is at in a couple of weeks. And, I mean, a lot of guys struggle at road courses. I mean, a lot of your upper guys in this points find a way to finish there. But it's going to be interesting. I think these 2 weeks could be a huge shakeup in the points overall, honestly. We can see some really upward and downward in the list there.
Another shout out I want to throw, just because he's had such an abysmal season, man. Ross Chastain finally getting him a top 10 this week, or pulling things back together, and I was happy to see that. He ran a little bit more consistently than usual. He had to fight for it all day. I felt like it was a lot of strategy and a lot of grinding it out, but getting that top 10, it was nice to see Ross in there top 10 again.
Yeah, no doubt they got to start getting that going on track, and that's the way to do it. You just got to start getting those good runs and building on it.
Yep.
Yeah, Matt and I talked about this last week and just how abysmal the Trackhouse cars have been this season. And this is really probably, other than SVG, this is the first sign of life we've really seen from that team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even, I mean, last week at Michigan, they were all three just out to lunch. So,
yeah.
Hopefully they can get that ship on the right track, but was an interesting one at the Triangle. I like Pocono. I'm glad we're 1 a year Pocono now, and that seems to work well as Pocono. Another sellout. I think that's 4 or 5 years straight. Campground sold out. That place was packed, so pretty cool.
The only time I've liked multiple races at Pocono was 2020. Is that the year they did the doubleheader and did
back
2 races days. There? Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. I didn't hate that. I thought about that earlier today, actually.
Yeah. And we had that good battle with Denny and Harvick there too.
Yeah,
that was when those guys were just both on fire at the time.
Yeah.
But next week going to be very interesting. The San Diego, I'm going to butcher the name, the naval base in San Diego. But man, you guys checked out the iRacing finally got their scan up. Oh my gosh, this track is.
It's going to be a hard one.
I mean, it's a tough course in itself and a long course at over 3 miles, but the bumps, I don't know what's going to happen in at least 2 spots or more on this track with the bump situations. Like you can go find iRacers, like they're going over in the cup car and they're just airborne and they're gone. So I don't know. I mean, we got the best drivers in the world going to hit us, so I'm sure they'll figure it out, but man, it's going to be interesting.
Earlier in the season, I was very disappointed that the Cup Series wasn't running the street course in St. Pete.
Yeah.
Or St. Augustine, St. somebody down there in Florida.
St. Petersburg, yeah.
Yeah, the trucks and the IndyCar ran. I saw that track. I was like, man, why aren't they doing this one? Why are they going to San Diego? But the closer we get to it and the more I see of this track, I'm super hyped for it. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited as well. I think it's going to be I think the track in itself is going to create a challenge and a situation that's going to be fun to watch, if nothing else. And I think all the spectacle around it's going to be fun to watch. It's so unique. Like the broadcast team is broadcasting from a giant naval ship, like or aircraft carrier. I don't know exactly what, but something that I think it's just going to be so unique. So it's going to be interesting and fun to watch. I feel like
I agree. I think it's going to be a super fun weekend.
Yeah. And I was just going to say real quick, looking ahead a little bit, when you were talking about, guys were talking about the schedule, the 2 road courses, but really the next 5 races are kind of interesting because we got the 2 road courses. We're back to Chicagoland for the first time in a long time, so don't really know what to expect there. Atlanta, which now is kind of always wild, and then we're back to North Wilkesboro for the first time in 30 years in a points race. So really the next 5 weeks could shake a lot of things up, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That's a very interesting little summer schedule here.
It is.
And
have y'all done your brackets yet?
That's what I was about to say. Part of that will be in the bracket challenge. Those are open now.
All I know is me and Google are taking Ty Dillon all the way this year. after that Cinderella run last year, we're taking him to the top.
So in Denny's press conference after the race, they told him he was the one who ended up seating against Ty Dillon, and he just said, "I'm cooked." So maybe Ty Dillon breaks that, Denny. Boy, he's the momentum buster for Denny's championship this year.
Come on, Ty.
Yeah, the little bracket challenge fun. It kind of it felt like by the end of it last year fell off a bit, but I don't know. I guess.
I mean, Ty Dillon's little run there in the bracket was the most exciting thing. I mean,
it was. Yeah. If he could have pulled it off, I think it would have actually helped it a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
No
but,
offense.
It's like watching March Madness. You get that 15-seeded team, they make it to the Elite Eight, and you're like, all right, and then they get crushed by one of the elite teams in the nation. But it's still fun to see that underdog make a little run there.
Yeah, I saw. Ryan Priest put up a little funny video because he's been against SVG in the first race at Sonoma, and it was just a funny little video. Like, no.
That cracked me up, man. It was like the SpongeBob meme. Yeah.
But a fun little thing they're trying. I do think it's second year, hopefully third year, like it'll build some as well as we get used to it that first year. Kind of learning.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I like the Dash for Cash. It's just kind of very similar to that, but in a more different format, I guess.
Yeah. Fun stuff. Before we move on from NASCAR, we'll touch in quickly on our fantasy league. Tight all around at the top. Yeah, tight. Yeah. I did bring home a win, tight finish, and now very tight all around the standings. I'm back on the lead, but barely. Me, Eric Chief Kendall, and Shawn within like 32, 34 points, something like that of each other. So real tight at the top. And then you 2 guys are down there doing something.
Yeah, it's like Casey Mears and Cody Ware fighting there for us.
I know why Size loves that points reset now. He wants them to bring it to fantasy.
I don't know if I'd make a chase at this point.
I may be completely wrong, but I think this is the closest I've ever seen the top, and particularly for this long. honestly.
I think so too. It's actually really, really good battle.
Well, you and I,
any of y'all three, Matt, Shawn, and crew chief Kendall there, y'all could, like, in past years we've had battles be like Matt and Shawn, either one of them could win it, or last year it was me or Shawn. This year, I mean, any of them, y'all are Bill Elliott, Davey Allison, and Alan Kowicki up there.
well, the thing that Matt and I run into constantly is we pick almost. I mean, this week we literally had the exact same lineup except for one drive, and even the bonus points. So that's how we get stuck. And we've done that for years. One of us gets together, we just get stuck because we pick the same people. However, I'm almost out of Denny uses, so that may bite me in the booty soon.
That, as I've heard, and crew chief had a rough day, and I've heard about it. He's not happy about it, but he's struggling on the lack of Denny picks, which I'm pretty much there as well, and on some other people, I hate to say. So it is going to be interesting this last stretch of summer.
Hey, we've all got like 5 picks or 10 picks, however many you get for Joey Logano, so maybe he'll get hot at the end of the year.
I've been saving up my cold custards, baby.
Hey, I'll tell you something, and this is the truth, and I hate to say this, but in all the years that I was winning, I cannot tell y'all how many times Joey Logano saved my hind end. That's the truth. So come on, Joey. I need you.
I'm going to take that quote out of context.
It's going to be on a loop. Come on, Joey.
Come on, Joey.
Oh, gosh.
Hey, man.
Yes. Oh, boy. Yeah, fun stuff. If you're not playing NASCAR Fantasy, definitely check it out. We've mentioned a few times. We will, next season, get us a fan league going, get everybody involved, get a big one.
Yeah, then maybe I can beat Jeff and Randy Kaiser.
Oh, calling you out, Rando.
Randy, we did
it. What a celebration that would be. All right, before we get too lost in the Commonwealth, we're going to close out the lead lap. That will move us beyond the banking, where we look at major motorsports forums from around the world. This week we had the big one, the 94th running of the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the biggest 24-hour race in the world, and it certainly lived up to it as it drew over 350,000 fans.
Wow.
Pretty insane numbers there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Indy 500 does around that here, everyone included. So, but still, I mean, that is on par with biggest spectator. It's really impressive stuff. Pretty cool.
I wonder how that works. Like, drivers driving shifts. Do spectators watching shifts? Like, I'm gonna watch for 6 hours and take a rest and come back.
Yeah, can I buy one seat and we all just trade out all night? We'll not just in America are the Toyotas strong, but in Le Mans as well, as overall victory to the Toyota TR010 Hybrid, driven by Kumi Kobayashi, Mike Conway, and Nick DeVries. And Kobayashi, you may remember, ran a cup race just a handful of years ago.
Oh, yeah.
He did.
So pretty cool there. Toyota's 6th overall Le Mans victory, their first since 2022. Really tight finish. I mean, for a 24-hour race, ended up being by 11 seconds. Which, I mean, by NASCAR standards, that's a big win. But 24-hour standards, that's pretty tight, really. Second place to the BMW crew, and the podium rounded out by the teammate Toyota. So big day for Toyota over there.
I'm going to buy that Tundra and see if I get places faster. I think.
I think at this point you might.
I'm going to give it a go.
Toyota on fire in the racing world. GT3 category, though, we saw a big American victory Corvette with a win in that class. And shout out to, in the amateur league, Ben Keating won despite battling visible stitches in his arm from elbow surgery, but pulled off a 24-hour win in the amateur class. pretty cool stuff. I mean, just one of the most famous races, and you'll see some of the biggest names still show up there. NASCAR last year entered that Garage 56 car. So, I mean, everyone dreams of Le Mans, as the old saying is, but it's somewhat true. And speaking of that Garage 56, a driver of that was on hand as Jimmie Johnson was over in Le Mans this weekend as a spectator, taking it all in and apparently having a few drinks along the way.
I love drunk Jimmie Johnson. That's my favorite Jimmie Johnson.
It's a clearly intoxicated Jimmie Johnson went on the radio broadcast and was talking some racing. I mean, he said nothing inappropriate or anything of that nature, but he was clearly intoxicated. It was pretty funny. I really actually enjoyed that, and seeing a kind of a let loose side of Jimmie, kind of cool. You don't see that every day. Yeah,
that was fun. Love seeing a guy who's always kind of, been looked at as like the, straight and narrow, very kind of boring, even if you would say at times during his career, just be a fun, have a good time. I loved it.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Somebody should have asked him, so how many times did Chad tell you to wall that car?
Get the truth out.
Get the truth out.
A little truth serum. Yeah. Oh, goodness, fun stuff. While Jimbo was having a blast in France, we'll hop over to Spain for F1 in Barcelona, where we saw a monumental win over here as well. The all-time wins leader added another one to it, 106th win for Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Might not have been Return of the King, but it was Return of the Night.
Yes, it was.
First time in, over 2 years that Lewis has gotten a win there, and awesome to see.
686 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, first win in Ferrari.
It's those lowrider trucks, Matt.
Oh, yeah. It's all,
I think those lowriders, man, they gave him the swagger he needed to go to Barcelona and reclaim his throne.
I think it's that Kim Kardashian juice he's drinking on, but that's just me.
Probably ain't hurting.
I've heard that's revitalizing a tonic.
I don't know. I have seen what happened to the last man that she was with, and I don't know if he's revitalized in any way.
Size and I are back on the same page on this one. I think we need to protect the night at all costs.
I know. Honestly, I think it's very odd situation there that has developed. Is what I really think. But
hey, you know what? At the end of the day, man, so awesome to see. I loved his social media post when he said, "Remember who you are," and it's such a legend. It's really kind of cool that we segued from Jimmie Johnson to Lewis Hamilton, because I've always found them comparable in a lot of ways. But man, it's fantastic, man. Love seeing it. He was so pumped, and we were all so pumped for it.
And honestly, I kind of didn't. I thought, as we see, I don't watch a lot of F1, obviously. We've talked about this, but, I've been a NASCAR fan. We see drivers get to a certain age and point in their career in NASCAR where they can't get that win anymore. They just fall off, and, it's just something that happens to everybody as they get older. And I thought Lewis was in that situation. I thought, he's still going to run all right. He's still going to do well, but his winning days are over, and this weekend proved me wrong, and I was happy to see it.
Well, evidently he was the oldest F1 driver to win since I think 1970, at the ripe old age of 41, which I can't even think about.
First to do it since Jack Brabham in 1970, and it
Harry
was
Gant. He couldn't even compare to that. He's like, what? 41.
Also, the first all-British podium since 1968, as we saw George Russell in second and Lando Norris third. And in 68, it was Jackie Stewart, Graham Hill, and John Surtees. So I thought that was a pretty cool little piece of history as well. Max Verstappen ended up fourth, although it certainly was a strategy win for the Ferrari. If you want to take a little luster out of it, as the Mercedes were definitely the cars to beat, Antonelli and George Russell. More so Antonelli, I think that would have been interesting. But props to them on strategy. Ferrari played a 3-stop strategy, allowed them to be much more aggressive, but a virtual safety car really, really helped Lewis out, which, I mean, I was all for seeing it. And then we saw it last time, Russell with mechanical woes in this, and this time with Antonelli. So I thought that was interesting too, back to back in the Mercedes camp, which you don't see. And we even heard the famed Toto Wolff say Hamilton and Ferrari are a title threat. So I think Mercedes is feeling it, as we have saw. I mean, this was strategy, but we saw Lewis. I mean, 3 podiums in a row now, something to that effect. Like. It's an interesting situation over there in F1, and just some good racing. Like F1 this season is on, and I'm impressed.
It's been really good, man. I mean, I'll tell you somebody else that was impressing me was the other Red Bull car, man, Hadjar. I mean, he was doing some the finish wasn't as high as those guys, but he was making some really good passes through the field, and I was really liking a lot of the moves he was making. I was like, he's looking really good.
I agree. I think Hadjar's on the rise. I think we're seeing the beginnings of the peak of that situation.
Yeah, he was probably. I honestly, he may have impressed me the most of anybody in that race, as far as just moves he was making.
Yeah, I get it. But fun one in Barcelona. But as we said, really fun to see the GOAT back in victory lane and celebrating and being so excited. Like, that was cool. He jumped into the fans at one point, was throwing the trophy up and down, just having a good time. But that wraps up our trip around the world. We're going to bring it back stateside as we'll move into the Bullring Report. And that moves us on. The Bullring Report. Breaking down dirt tracking, short tracking, ARCA Series, which I'll quickly touch on. Gio Ruggiero, huge win in the ARCA Series there in Pocono. That's mostly what you can say about it. Some good runs from Laney Buse had speed at one point, but another huge win for Gio. But we got so much dirt tracking and short tracking this week, it's almost an afterthought, and that's no offense to the ARCA Series. But we'll start with the High Limit Series. Had their race earlier in the week at Eagle Raceway, where we saw Rico Abreu pick up a huge win, took over the overall points lead as well, sitting 9 points now ahead of Aaron Reitzel, who we saw win the previous race. So fun battle at the top of the standings there in the High Limit Series. Yeah, they're off for a couple weeks now, though.
Yeah, that they deserve a break as many races as they Dude. Man, so one thing first of all love Rico. I think we're all pretty big Rico fans. Something I got a kick out of is when he was celebrating on top of the car. I didn't see the wide picture of it at first, and when he leapt off the top of that thing, I was like, where did he go? I was like, Rico done wilded out, man.
I have to say, Rico's victory celebration is probably my favorite in all of motorsports. I love seeing him jump off that car. I guess is his crew chief that he usually catches him, or one of his pit guys or something. Yeah, it's so cool.
I didn't see the guy there this time, and I was like, wait a minute, what just happened?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's good stuff. Rico, I mean, on tear, man. He may win this championship again, but, I mean, we've talked about Reitzel's being on fire, but Rico now surpassed him. Reitzel following on a little bit. It'll be interesting to see where the summer goes. The midweek series, got to mention Brent Marks now, points leader in that midweek series, so cool stuff from him as well. But as Shawn said, they are on a much-deserved break. They've been on a really tear of racing a bit. So, but most of them are racing World of Outlaws, so it wasn't matter.
Yeah.
We'll jump now to the Shale Crescent King of the Hill and Dirt Cup. Now, this was really something interesting at Muscombe County Speedway. It was the top 12 Lucas Oil late model guys against the top 12 World of Outlaw late model guys. They did it as they had the first night, or the first bit was a team-based competition. Well, I guess the whole was a team-based competition that saw them go one-on-one. The 12th place one-on-one, 2 laps all the way through the thing. We saw the Lucas Oil late model guys pull off the win in that one, 117 over 84. on the points. But man, this whole event was fun. Those 1 lap or 2 lap shootouts between those guys, really cool. These two series coming together. I was so impressed by this whole little operation. And
I didn't get to see it, but that's awesome. I mean, it kind of reminds me of, back in the 90s and early 2000s, you get those Marvel DC crossovers. So you get the heroes from both sides out there battling each other.
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like. It really did. It was so neat. And they had a big 50-lap main event where we saw Bobby Pierce took over, led the final 22 laps, brought home the $20,000 prize. Smooth operator, doing smooth operator things there, but fun event. Josh Rice 4 seconds behind in second. Nick Hoffman third. So the World of Outlaw guys showed up in the feature race, though. For sure, but this is a fun event. I hope this really gains and turns into something even bigger.
I would say it will, honestly.
Yeah, it's just too cool not to, almost.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, maybe even do it at different tracks each time. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Give more people a chance to go out and watch it.
I'd like to see other series do it. I'd like to see, World of Outlaw sprint cars versus I can't remember the name.
High Limit.
High Limit. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a lot of the same guys, but
well, yeah, a lot run both, but it's still, and a lot doing this too. So I mean, it can work. Yeah, it'd be fun. I think that's something well could be worked in, especially now that everyone's working together again. There was a lot of tension there when High Limit first was created. The almost like the split, but everything of that nature seems to have mostly worked itself out. Arson even run a World of Outlaw sprint race this week, so.
Yeah, they don't all hate each other.
Yeah.
So, that's a step in the right direction.
That's right.
Yeah.
Shift gears quickly back to asphalt as we saw the famed Money in the Bank 150 at Berlin Raceway. Several NASCAR drivers in this one, including Eric Jones, Carson Hocevar, and the eventual winner, Tom Majeski.
I mean, Carson Hocevar was in it for a while. Until he suddenly decided he didn't want to be in it anymore.
Well, from a lot of debate on that. It's supposedly confirmed now the team told him to park it. They wanted to save the car, but a lot of people very upset at Carson for quitting. But I also saw a lot of people who were at that track taking up for Carson, saying he stayed for over 2 hours after he parked and signed autographs and took pictures with anyone and everyone that wanted him. So I guess you can find kind of anything you want there, but there is a lot of controversy around that Carson. We saw him, he led a lot, fell off, and ended up getting into a guy and just seemingly, as the internet said, rage quit it. And I don't obviously know the full details. The team now, as some are saying, coming out to help him, but the team said they decided to park it as they were only there to win. They wanted to save the car, so which I can see, I can understand that. But I mean, I can understand people's frustrations as well, I suppose, if you're there to watch Carson. But also, Carson could have wrecked on lap 1, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go to a race just to watch one driver because it's so you can't tell what's going to happen. Anything could happen. I mean, you could be running the best race of your life, and all of a sudden you get a flat tire and it spins you out. You hit the wall. You're out for the day. I mean, if you go to a race, you got to watch a race. You don't go there just to follow one guy.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think it was more internet uproar than actual. True fans,
that's why I didn't see the actual race, but I saw the fallout on the old racing socials, though.
Yeah, no
Oh
doubt.
boy!
Oh, they'll take a stand when they can find something. But not to undermine Tom Majeski, huge win, brought home $15,000 payday. Majeski, awesome short tracker, and proved it again. We'll stay on the asphalt as we'll look at some Cars Tour. We'll start with Cars Tour West, actually, where NASCAR Hall of Famer Kevin Harvick showed up to put on a clinic. Led wire to wire, led all 150 laps. Keelan also in this race, but dominating victory for Harvick, running a handful of these. And he runs most of the West Tour races. He's trying to get that side of it started, from my understanding, more so, but big win for the Harv there. But in the main show on the Real Cars Tour, or the East Coast, I don't know what you want to say there, but nonetheless, It was the Minis Mission 125 at Minnie Terrell's home speedway there in Dominion, and Minnie actually pulled it off, the big win in his race. It was a wild one. These car store races are wild every time anymore, but another wild would look like it was going to be Connor Jones' day, not to be, as Minnie pulled it off. And it was really awesome. I'm glad that he did. As if you don't know, Minis, that's a program he does that takes care of various children in need and things of that nature, and he had a bunch of them there with him, a young lady in Victory Lane and a bunch of those kids there, so I'll do pictures. Just a really cool and touching moment. Cool that he pulled that off, that win.
Absolutely.
And from, at least to my knowledge, the first win in a Dodge late model, as Dodge debuted that nose this year in late model scene, although they do not have an engine on there yet. So, I mean, a bit of a mix-up there. But I thought that was worth noting, at least. Technically, I guess the first win for Dodge on the short tracks.
That's awesome.
But good stuff from the Cars Tour. We'll jump over back to the dirt world of Outlaws. The sprint cars, they had the Ted Johnson Memorial Race at Angel Park, as well as the race in Knoxville Raceway. Carson Macedo with the win at Angel, and then Brent Marks picked it up over in Knoxville. That Knoxville race was really good. I did check it out. They were throwing some haymakers in that thing. But the World of Outlaw late models were just about 3 hours or so up the road from us at the West Virginia Motor Speedway up in Mineral Wells. This track, we saw it revamped and reopened. Ran a big race last summer. Back again this year. It was our first, at least unlike Flo or anything, first look at this track this year. And man, they have got it seasoned. This put on an incredible show of racing. All the drivers were praising it. We got to get up to this track. The way they did that hillside, they have, it's almost like theater seating kind of cut into the hillside, like stair stepped, and you just bring your chair and it's stepped. It's really awesome. And they do have a grandstand in the back stretch, but I thought that was cool. And they had it packed, like that hillside was packed.
Hey, we love some hillside seating. You can ask them at Princeton there.
Yeah.
Put us boys on a hill, we're going to have a time.
That's right. I love their setup there.
It looked incredible on TV, and I'm sure it's even better in person, man. And I just, I'm dying to get up there. That was good stuff. It
was. It put on an incredible race. Saw Tyler Erb Terbo pull off a huge win past Brandon Shepard early, led 59.60 last week, $30,000 payday. But huge names up there. Awesome race. Yeah, I was so impressed. And glad, like, a lot of drivers got out talking about being impressed by the track, and not just like the racing on the track, but also the facility there. Bobby Pierce talking about that hillside. So I think all that bodes well for that track here in our home state, and you'll love to see that. Sprint cars on that track would be insane. I'm just saying.
I was literally just sitting. And I was like, I like High Limit come there.
Well, High Limit will just pack up and find somewhere to go. So come on down, fellas.
It's raining. Let's go to Mineral Wells.
That's right.
Come on, stop and pick me up, please.
Brad Sweet will give you a ride, bud.
Yeah.
I'll be in charge of catching Rico.
Yes, you would be a good Rico catcher, I feel like.
Love it.
Oh man, good stuff. And that was far from all the racing this weekend. NARC 410 sprint cars, big racing. It was Indiana Midget Week on the USAC side. I did watch a little bit of that. Good stuff. Modified Madness, a couple big modified races at Bowman Gray. I think old Burt Myers pulled him off a win down there. This week I want to mention, too, coming up Saturday night, the very famed USA 100 is back at Beckley Motor Speedway, $10,000 to win super late model race. This race at one point was literally part of the Lucas Oil late model schedule. I went and watched it a few years ago. It has fallen a bit off that, but still, I expect some big names to pop up in Beckley Saturday night. Actually, be surprised, though. Our entry list should start trickling out on their social media and website in a few days. So if you're anywhere near Beckley, West Virginia, here in our area, that's something you may want to take a look at.
Man, I'm going to be out of town this weekend, or I would already be saying, let's try to go, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I'm.
Well, Shawn, since we don't have to put up with Jeff this weekend, you ready to go?
There it is. It is tempting. We'll see. We'll see how the week plays out, but that's all. It's always fun when famed. I'd like to know. I'm sure it's on their socials or stuff. How many of them they've done? This is a pretty historical race. Like they've done this race for a long time. But that's it for our dirt tracking and short tracking this week. We'll wrap up the Bullring Report. Gentlemen, we started at the beginning and now we're nearing the end as we are on the cool down lap. We're going to slow ride this thing out of here. Looking forward to the wildness that San Diego is going to bring, but before we look ahead, we have to look back one more time and pick our scheme of the week. This can be any car, any track any car, any series that raced on any track this weekend. So we'll jump right into that scheme of the week. Jeff, we'll start with you.
All right. I'm going to give a shout out to our friends at Alpha Prime. Brennan Poole with that Members First Credit Union number 44. That car, I've said it so many times, Alpha Prime, man, their cars are always just so sharp looking, but I think this one was my favorite scheme of any series all week. I love that. Brennan Poole just wheeling that thing around the track looked really good.
Yeah,
this is what I've got saved on my phone for my scheme of the week. So good call there, Jeff.
There you go. Yeah, that was an awesome scheme for that.
Yeah, that was great. That caught my eye too. I almost had
Yeah, it's down my list here as well, actually.
Yeah.
All right, Sides, we'll put you on the spot then. We'll jump to you.
Hang on, Denny Hamlin's little Minions.
I do like the Minions car.
Not a fan of Denny, but I love some King's Hawaiian rolls, and I love some Minions and banana tiny King's Hawaiian bites. I don't know what it is, but I'm down for it, and that car is the reason why I'm down for it.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. Shawn, what about you?
So I liked Ryan Blaney's 12 this week, a Newman-ish paint scheme. I can't remember the sponsor now. I'm sorry. I know it started with a W, but I thought that was
Wabash Ford.
Wabash Cannonball.
Yeah, I thought that was a really sweet-looking car this week. Nice little throwback.
Yeah, I like that as well. Team Penske killing it on every series with these 60th anniversary throwbacks and just randomly dropping them, but I like it. I'm going to give it to 2311 Racing, Bubba Wallace's Shady Rays Toyota. I thought that thing was sharp-looking, some cool summertime color vibes.
Good pick.
Yeah, good stuff. Down my list of mentions, I'll throw out Trackhouse Racing with the Busch Light Lime car with Ross. Thought that was pretty cool.
Hated that car. Hated it. Because I know when we start seeing Busch Light Lime, that means we're losing Busch Light Apple.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate to see my Bapples gone.
That is true.
I had that on my list too, though, Matt.
Yeah, it was a cool looking car.
Very easy car to spot, though, on the racetrack. That thing was bright.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Another one I had was, I know they've sponsored a lot, but the number 88 Roto-Rooter Carnage Zillich, I thought something about their Cup car, man, was really sharp. I thought it had a little more detail to it and whatnot. Thought it looked real good.
It was. I had that down my list as well. I thought that looked really sharp.
Yeah.
I had also on this Junior Motorsports, the Sammy Smith's number 8 O'Reilly Chevy on that side. It was very clean, I thought. Like that, clean white, but then with the O'Reilly colors mixed in, I thought that popped nicely.
Yeah. Another one I had from O'Reilly was, and I think this is a primary scheme too, but I don't know if we've talked about it, but I thought the Brent Cruz, that Mobile 1,
yeah.
I always think that car looks awesome, man. It's kind of old school, you know what I mean? Reminds me back in the day a little bit. I really like that car.
I agree with that. It kind of like that O'Reilly one, that clean. I think a white base paint scheme and then with the color pop is always such a clean and classic look, and that
Absolutely.
I agree. Another one I had an interesting scheme, but I thought worth mentioning. Jeremy Clements Racing, Jeremy Clements' car, the 51. It was allsouthelactor.com, but kind of very went under the radar. But Jeremy Clements passed Kenny Wallace as the all-time starts in the O'Reilly series this weekend, and it featured a little cartoon of Kenny passing the torch to Jeremy. And I thought that was kind of cool.
That's awesome.
It's sweet.
Yeah, that flew a little under the radar, but props to Jeremy Clements. I mean, that's huge.
And one more from O'Reilly I'll throw out. I thought Parker Retzlaff's car looked really good, too.
Yeah, FDMY, I think, wasn't that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. And cool there in Pocono, Pennsylvania, not, far from them. They probably had a lot of those down there, so they're really cool. Yep. Now we'll look ahead to the Coronado Naval Base, San Diego. It's probably an obvious one that is hanging out there, but nonetheless, we gotta make our predictions. It's tough. No one's seen this track. Yeah. Just got on iRacing a week ago. It's going to be interesting, but
Matt. Yes. Matt, you go first this week. But nobody take SVG. That's the deal. You go first, but let's all have to pick somebody other than SVG. What do you think?
SVGs. I'll throw that stipulation on. I like that. Gives us something fun to play with.
Let's do it.
All right. We will make our picks for the Cup race at San Diego, barring no one takes SVG.
I think the consensus is that is our pick. Now.
Yes, there we go.
Who's coming in second?
Yeah.
There we go. Let's make our picks for San Diego, but no one can take SVG. I'm going to start it. I'm going to make size cry as Ty Gibbs gets back in victory lane on the naval base.
That was mine.
Well, both of y'all were wrong.
Shawn, we'll go to you.
Well, I can't pick SVG, but I'm going to stay close to home and say the curse gets broken and Connor Zilic gets his first win in the Cup Series.
Oh, he needs a run. That could happen. Yeah. Size, let's drop to you.
All right. Well, my love of the man's waning. My love of the sponsor's waning. But I'm going with Ross Chastain. I think Ross is going to pull it off on the old street course.
Oh, Chastain back in victory lane. That'd be huge. And Jeff, what about you?
This man won a road course last year in O'Reilly in Mexico. He knows how to race road courses. He's been showing momentum. Daniel Suarez is my pick.
Yeah, I like that pick as well. Very good.
And I do not think he's going to win, but I'm going to say Austin Hill will have his best finish of the season in Cups this weekend.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. Interesting prediction there.
He put together an almost complete race the other night. So, yeah.
Yeah, I thought last week it was his best Cup race to date, actually. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a momentum gang there. Who knows? I also had down my list, I think Reddick's certainly going to be one to watch. Yeah. I think keep your eye on Michael McDowell. Always shows up at the road courses. Yeah. Showed up at Chicagoland Street Course first time we showed up there, Mexico, like just at the first runs of track. So I think he's starting to watch that. I think you got to keep your eye on Larson still, certainly.
Mm-hmm. And I know it's not a Cup Series, but in the trucks, Brendan Gaughan showing up with cornrows and winning Truck Series race.
Oh, man. Bold prediction there. Racing against 7-time Jimmie Johnson in that race as well. The Trucks race is going to be fun.
Justin Marks is in it too.
Yeah, Justin Marks.
I think Jimmie Johnson's going to show up in cornrows and win.
I think Jimmie Johnson's going to show up like he was in Le Mans and win.
Lots of things being thrown around here. I honestly, all joking aside, I think Matt's pick is. That's who I was going to take if I went before. I think Ty Gibbs could end up having a really strong run because he is a very good road course racer, and it's an unknown for everyone. So that was kind of my thinking on that too, Matt. Yeah. I think Ty's definitely going to make size cry.
It ain't happening. I mean, we all know what's happening. The man who can drive left, right on any street, road, byway, highway from New Zealand to America is going to win this race in dominant fashion.
Very likely.
Maybe before the race, Junior will ask him what it would take for him to start in the back. And then we get another one of those deals and see what happens.
One last thing, just to make it fun, we'll throw this out. Assuming that what we know is going to happen does happen, how many seconds does SVG win by?
I don't think it's going to be super dominant. I'm going to say like a 2-second, 2.3, which is a big win. But it's not going to be like an 11-second win or something.
I think that, I mean, we have to remember he is Superman on these things, but even he will have to have a few minutes to kind of learn what's going on when he gets there. I mean, because it is a whole new deal. But I think his curve of picking it up will be way faster than most folks. But yeah, I kind of agree, Size. I don't think it'll be a huge runaway, but I think he's going to win and win soundly.
Yeah.
To go the opposite route, I think with this being a near 4-mile track, the chance of the leader absolutely getting away, no matter who it is going to be huge. And if SVG does and runs like we think, I think he could well get away and win by 20-some, even 30-some seconds.
Wow.
Matt, honestly, that's exactly where I was thinking. I was in that 25-second range.
But the track's so large.
If parked in victory lane before everybody else finishes.
But I do think it's going to be a heavy caution-filled race, which really could change not only it being the margin of victory, but all around could create just chaos. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a super fun race. This is kind of how I felt the first year we went to Chicago. And I know that year got absolutely screwed over with the weather, but I think we're going to have the excitement that I had for Chicago with perfect weather and sunny San Diego. And I'm just ready for this. I think it's going to be a great weekend of racing all around, all 3 series.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to get extra practice sessions out of each, so there's going to be plenty of content to watch. Yeah. It's going to be cool stuff.
Is Charlie Crockett playing this one, or was that just for the monsoon in Chicago?
He doesn't jinx one road or street course.
Man.
Going to be fun. We'll dissect it all next week, whatever happens.
Yep, we'll be here for it.
That's right.
Until then, check us out on the socials, High, Wide, and Handsome, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Remain right here, Arson Brothers Entertainment as well on the socials. Subscribe to us here on the Arson Brothers Network. We'll be back next week. We got more videos coming as well.
And hey, Matt was talking about that big race at the Beckley this weekend. If you go back on the Arson Brothers Network, Matt, crew chief Kendall, and Arson cousin Jerry, and Arson Uncle Todd, I think, were at that race a couple years ago, and there's a lot of footage there of it.
There is AB Ninja there. That was that was when it was still on the Lucas Oil schedule as well.
Yeah. So go back and check that out before this big race this weekend.
Definitely so. And we'll say good night and good luck.